Hi, welcome to our second task of our Classtime Academy Effective Assessments. Today we'll be talking about security in your online assessments, how to make your online assessments more secure, how you can make them anti-cheating or just decrease the possibilities of cheating in your online assessment. This is something that we always have like requests from teachers, educators all over the world, always asking for help to how they can use class time features to make these online assessments more secure and how they can just cut cheating out of the picture. We know that especially if you are in a full online environment right now with your students, or even if you are in the classroom or in a hybrid environment scenario, you do have this just little question in your head: is this secure? Are they talking with each other? Are they cheating anyway? Or are this solution or any other solution on getting the data from my students where students are underage? So I already talked about student data. We do have a page here, class time, that we talk about student data and data overall. We don't ask students to register at class time, so we are not taking your students' data. We only created new features because teachers and educators were actually requesting from us to create features to make cheating harder, but we still don't require from your students or any students to register at class time. So I will show to you how you can use class time features to just make your online assessment more secure. We will begin, I will teach you how you can set up a class, how you can invite your students to a class. Then we will talk a little bit about session settings. Then we can also talk about session playlists. That's something that we did have questions. Some people asked some questions in our YouTube channel on Monday's video. Some other people talked to us through Facebook community, and other people just emailed us as well. So we do see that you have doubts still, especially because I talked briefly about session playlists. So I did have some questions coming up just saying, hey, I want to know what a session playlist is. I don't actually know. So I will show to you as well how you can use session playlists in your assessment, in your summative, formative assessment, whatever the next assessment you are coming up with will be. So let's first get into class time. So as you all know, it's just one click. I will select my own email here, class time. And when I get in, so in the first video, Monday's video, I showed to you how you can create a question set. I talked a little bit about every question type that we have, and how you can set up great question sets with different subjects as well. And I did show how you can start with only one click a new session. But we do have now a brand new feature. It was launched like over 2 months ago. It's still ongoing with updates, and we are very excited about all the possibilities that classes can bring to teachers and students as well. I will show to you how you can organize here. Classes was created to help teachers to organize. So if you have more than one, if you teach more than one grade or one class, or if you teach different subjects, it's easier for you, you can obviously use the folders and the shared folders as well if you are in our school license. But in classes, you can just name your class and the subject and invite your students through here, which will be way more secure in this new system that we have with classes as well. And I will show you. So here I already show we do have as well a new integration with Google Classroom. So those who use Google Classroom, you can't lose this. Like, truly, it's completely, it's amazing. Like, all of our users that already came across with this this amazing integration and started using it are like have fallen in love with, because the two platforms are really like conversing right now. You can import grades, you can import students, you can import the classes as well. So you only need, as we explain here, you only need to click and grant Classtime permission. And when Classtime can see your information in Google Classroom, the two platforms will start to be integrated. You can even see here, I have 4A is one of my classes, and you already have here this little icon that shows important from Google Classroom. So here I still don't have students or anything, but I already created this class on Google Classroom and imported to Classtime. So this is very, very exciting. If you want me to talk a little further about this Google Classroom integration, I can in the next video as well. In the beginning of the videos, I will always talk a little bit about the questions that we are receiving in the last video. So I will approach the session playlist, but if you do have any questions, you can send, and I can approach at the beginning of the next video as well. I just won't go full very in depth to Google Classroom right now, because I know not all of our participants, applicants in this program are Google Classroom users. So I will be more general here, but we can always talk about any subject that you want to know more about in the next video. So here to set up a class is pretty simple. So I just set up this 1B Science, but I will just show to you that you can create a class name and the subject. So you have here the subject, you can even write longer. The class name, it has to be a little shorter. But when you can start with the class name by naming it like let's say you are a third grade teacher. Let's say it's 3A and you are an English teacher. So you can put the subject here. You can also put like way more like World English or SLA English. You can just like make it completely personalized for yourself. So then you create it, and I have here just a minute that my face is in front of the classes. Okay, so we have here the 3A English. I will click, and you can see that I don't have yet anything, but I have the possibility of inviting students and co-teachers. So what is the difference here? You also have the class ID. When you invite your students to a class, you have to invite them via email. So if you are in a school or a college or whatever like institution that you teach, if there you have institutional emails, so you already probably have the list of your students' emails, and you can already just copy paste here all the emails, or you can as well just have, if they don't have an institutional one, or if they don't use if you don't use Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams or any other kind of segment of like where you can keep, if you don't have LMS platforms that you already use, You can as well just get their individual emails. So they will have their own emails that they use for the classes, for example, and you will only need to know all your students' emails and copy paste here. So here I have my team at Classtime that I can invite. So let's say that I will invite Valentine, I will invite Folia, and I will invite as well Nirvana. So let's say that those are my students. I have a small class and I will invite these people that I already shared a class before. So those are people that I already invited to classes before or sessions, but I will invite them to here. Because I already invited them to other sessions or classes, they are already appearing here with different colors, but they already are in the class. They don't have to even accept the class. They're already in the class. But if it's your first time and you are inviting students that you never invited before, let's look for, I believe this one is I already invited two. So let's just look for someone that I didn't invite before. Let's see if I have an example here. I won't waste your time just trying to get more examples. So let's say if Dara as well is here. But if you never invited them, the difference is there will be here a phrase waiting for approval or for acceptance of the class. So they will receive an email with the class invitation, and they will have to click in the link and accept the invitation. So this is the difference. When you are inviting people that you already invited before, they are still receiving an email and they can still access via student portal. So this is the two differences. I will go to student portal in a minute just to show to you. So then you can, if you say, oh, I invited someone mistakenly, you can also remove. You can also add co-teachers, and the co-teacher here will help you. So there's a lot of teachers that will teach the same class, or if you need substitute teacher, or if you need the coordinator or the principal of your school wants to be up to date to how, if all your students are in the class, if everyone is already invited, all the names are here. They want to see your organization and how this is happening, or even if you want help and you want them to see, or if you are creating something with another teacher in collaboration. This is for collaboration. So we created a co-teacher so you can invite a teacher to be your collaborator in the class. You can invite a teacher to share your folder, and you can co-create content, and here you can co-create classes. So let's say that Folia is my co-teacher and I will invite her, and she will already, let me just move myself, and she will already appear here. So here it's me and I'm the class owner, and here it's Folia, she's my co-teacher, and she will be able to add and remove students. She will be able to start sessions with the class. She'll be able to do whatever I can do in my class as well. And then I can invite the students, as I said to you, and this is my class completely set up. The difference and why I'm approaching classes and why it's safer, because I will show to you that when I start a session here, so let's say that I already set up my class and I'm an English teacher, so just here. So I will start a new session here, and I will talk about the session settings in a minute. And here I can invite a class, and when I invite a class, you see here, so I have 1A, 1B, 3A, 4A. You can allow or not guest students. What is a guest student? Is when your student can enter the class with only their first name or a nickname or their last name, with whatever they type in that little place that they have when they are entering the session. So when you allow guest students like that, they will still be able to enter your class with their own name. But if you don't allow guest students, only the students that you already invited to your class, so only the students that you know exactly the email that you already know that they are giving you their true email, they will be able to join your session. So what was happening before when we didn't have classes is that sometimes students would try to enter the class with two different nicknames, or with their email and another with a nickname, or they would try to ask a friend to enter. That's not something that was happening a lot, but indeed it happened. Like they were trying to cheat in some ways. How they were entering the session was a big deal because a lot of teachers were concerned that they didn't have this control. They were just like, I don't know how they are entering the session. So now we created class so the teacher can organize. They can be more organized with them, like with their own classes, and as well organize their students and control who's entering and how they are entering the session. So here, let's say that I will invite my 3A students here, invite, and I can already see that all the students that I already invited before are already here. So I can see everything, and they already can see afterwards in their student portal when they will go. I will invite myself to the class as well. So let me just come back a little bit, and I will invite myself so I can show to you. Here, Maria. Let me invite myself. So when they go to the student portal, that they can getting through here. So here you see students, you have the place for teachers, and you have the place for students, or log in with your student account. So you can still allow them to enter with their first name or nickname if you are not looking for this control of knowing the exact email and exact name that are entering your session. So you can still give them the code and let them free to enter however they prefer, or you can set up classes, and then when they go to this student portal, that is just one click. Here they have the possibility of entering with Google, with Microsoft, Clever, or whatever email, institutional or not, that they have. So with one click, I will enter with my own email here. And I will show to you how they will. So here, for example, I already can see that I was invited. Let's start another one because that one didn't count. So let's start another one with English languages. So I will start another session, and I will invite the same class here that now has but not allowing. So let's invite another one. And here, what I can already show to you first, I already even received in my phone that is connected to my Gmail, I already received an invitation of a class, but here I can already show if I decide to just go into my student portal and not check my email, I can already see that I was just invited for a 3A English class. The subject is English language. I can start at any minute. If my teacher put a deadline for this assessment to end, it will be here. And if my teacher allows me, after I finish my test, I will be able to see my results as well. So here are the ones that are already done, I already completed, and so it goes. So this is why classes are more secure than sessions for some teachers. That's why we created for organization and as well for control, so you actually know who is getting into your session. So as I am already here in the session, I will show to you the session settings. Let me just here. We also created, so our session settings are super popular, especially because we do have some features in the session settings that will help you as well have a better control and be more sure that there is no cheating involving your online assessment. One of the options are the shuffle answer options and the shuffle questions. So here, when you just say, hey, I'm gonna shuffle here, and I'm gonna shuffle here too. So my students will have different organizations of their answers and their questions. So student A and student B won't have the same list of questions. It will be shuffled for both of them, and the options of the questions as well will be shuffled. So if you do experience a lot of students exchanging and talking during the online assessment, or if you think this is a possibility with your class as well, so you want to avoid it, you can already shuffle answer options and questions, because even if they are talking, hey, question 3, the answer is B, they will have to double check because, it sounds a little weird. I don't know if we have the same question. So this is something that they will definitely not have the same question if you are shuffling the answers and the questions options. So this is very popular. We can enable partial grading as well. Obviously, I will talk about everything here a little bit, but I will just focus a little more on the features that will help you to just make it more secure. The round-based mode as well. So one question, show each question step by step. So it's a fixed order. You go by here, and you can have shuffled questions. You can shuffle still the answer options, but you can shuffle the questions because it will be like the first one, and your students will only see the first one. When they answer the first one, then they go to the second one. So it's a round-based mode here. And very good for anti-cheating too. So all of them will have a restricted time as well. If you are putting here a session timer, so they will have to go through every single question, and if they don't finish this one, they have to go to another one. So one of them can't finish a question, then tell them all the other ones like, hey, the answer is that one, because they will all be answering and have a limited time to answer that question. So this is a very popular one. We have the session reflection. Session reflection is not like very much related to security, but it is a good form of you knowing if your students are enjoying the online assessment. So we do have three questions that we answer. We ask your students after they finish their online assessment, and we can change it, we can personalize for now, but we do ask with some emojis if they liked, if they would do it again, if they learned something new. So you can as well afterwards just download your session report and see if it was a positive assessment or not for your class. So a lot of teachers do like the session reflection, but we do know that a lot of teachers would prefer to be more personalized, to pick their own questions, and that's something that we also are planning on releasing an update, hopefully very, very soon. And then we have show solutions immediately. Obviously not very good for those who are looking for something like anti-cheating or more secure, more controlled. So no, this is a no-no, but I can show to you how you can earn time with cheating with this little button, a little different after the exam is finished. So allow only one attempt per question. So also a very liked one. So if you don't check this one, the student will be able to come back and change their answer even after they already answered the question. But if you allow this, they will have to actually think and be very focused on their own exam. So good for anti-cheating too. Session timer is great. So if you don't put a time into your exam, maybe they will have a lot of time, or if they have the whole day to complete, they would just enter and they can exchange information with each other. They can research information. So if you put a session timer, if you put time to your tasks, if you put like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever, depends on the size of your test, of your exam, of your assessment, I believe. But I also know that this really helps a lot of teachers to just control and decrease the cheating possibilities in their assessments. So session timer and session scheduler, this is as well to give the teachers more freedom. So you don't have to be online. You don't have to be in the session watching your students answer the questions. You can as well be doing other things, working on the next assessment, whatever, working or relaxing or whatever you prefer, but you can already put a time and a day that will start and that will end. So let's say that it's going to be today, my test. I am in Los Angeles in California, so my time here is November 4, it's 12, and let's say that my assessment will begin at 1:00. So 1 p.m. and it will finish at 2 p.m. So I'm giving exactly 60 minutes to my students to finish this this assessment, and that's it. So you can activate all the questions as well. If you don't want to go like round based, but you are shuffling, but you're not, obviously, if you're shuffling, this is a little, you don't need to do this. But if you're not, if you just want to, you can deactivate all the questions and then come like one by one and activate, see, or your students answer the first question and then you go to the second one, and then they will have obviously less time to talk between them and do all that. So this is a very good situation as well to just decrease the chances of cheating. What we do, I'm just gonna start here my session. So let's say I am here in my student portal, so I will start, because I would just show to you, because I schedule my session right now to 1 p.m. I can still not click, so it's today at 2 a.m. so it's a little wrong, but I just set up it wrongly, but I can here change here because I put in AM not PM, silly me. But let's change, let's put for right now, so 12 12:00 to 1:00. Okay, so now I proceed. When I refresh my student portal, so me as a student, let's see, me as a student already, so here it ends at 1 p.m. so hey, start now. So I will start my my question, And as a teacher, already gave myself as a student 60 minutes, I will start now. And you can see that I shuffled the questions, right? So I shuffled the questions and the answers options. I gave myself 60 minutes, and as well, I only allowed one attempt per question, and I am just allowing for me as a student to see 3 options. So here, as a teacher, I can still see which questions my students are answering, 1, 2, 3, but for them, because it's shuffled, it's appearing as 2, 8, and 18. They can see there will be more questions, but for now they can answer that. And then I am the student A, and then there is a student B and student C, and they will have different options as well. It won't be the same shuffle options for all the students. So let's say that I will do that, and I will do that. Your answer was sent. If I try to come back, I can change my answer because I didn't allow. It's only 1 attempt per question. You can allow more than 1 attempt. A lot of teachers already asked us as well, hey, some of my students respond something and I know they're almost correct, and I want to talk to them through chat and give them some reinforcement, some help for them to go back and actually answer it correct. I know what they're thinking. No, I put a free text in the other one that was very similar to this one's answer, and they were in a good track, but here they answered it wrong, and I want at least to give them another chance. So you can obviously just change your settings live. If you are watching it, if you are online with your students, you can just keep changing the settings, keep giving them more questions. You can do however you prefer. So here, for example, me as a teacher already receiving, and let's say that now I'm activating all the questions, and here it's still completely shuffled, and they will only be able, for example, here, my first one, it's a multiple choice. And my first one for me as a student, because it's shuffled, it's a free text one. So it will work. I will just answer something here so you can see. So here it's already done. And we do have a lot of other questions as well here. So I believe for the session settings is that now I am going to show you the session playlist as well. That is very good for organization. Remembering that your students don't have to register, and they will never, even if they register, they will never have access to any of your folders, to any of the results if you don't allow them to have. So before I go to the session playlist, let's go back to my student portal, and I will show to you that when you are in a session, for example, this session here, I already closed it, so it's not again happening, but let's say that you start that this is already closed, and I want my students to see their solutions because all of them already finished the exam. They don't have an opportunity of talking anymore. They already answered everything. So I don't want to have to export all the student report one by one, because here you have to report. You can zip, but then you have to send each one of them their own report. So you want them to have it, you want them to download it, so you can allow them show solutions to your students after the exam is finished, and they can come here to the student portal. Sometimes it just blocks a little bit. They can come here to the student portal. And here, for example, I didn't finish all my questions, so I won't be able to download my reports. But if your student answered all the questions independently, doesn't matter the results, if they answer all the questions like I did here, I can download my own results when I in one click, and then my own results will be here, and I can see what was my percentage, so what was correct or wrong. Here is just an example. This is an internal survey that we do weekly at Classtime with our own team, but you can see that my name already appears, the date, the name of the assessment, the session, and if it's correct or wrong. So it's like this, very easy, just one click. So coming back, remembering that you can also just give your students the class ID, and they can just put here the class ID is the same code you can see in the class, or they can start with one click, or even if you are using sessions and you want to give them a code, but you want them to log in with their here with their institutional emails or their Google, Microsoft Teams emails that you already know. You want them to log into the student portal. You can say go to the student portal, log in with your email, and enter here the session code and join, and will be just one click as well. And the good part is that all their data, everything that this student already did, every single session they already started, they already completed, all their results, everything will be here secured for them, and we won't delete anything. It's theirs, and it will continue to be theirs while they use the same email that they first entered the student portal. And I believe that's it for the student portal. I will now go through our session playlist. That is something that was very much asked. I will use the same question set that I was using right now. So let's say I'm still an English teacher. So let's say that I created a bigger question set with 26 questions, but I will have a midterm that I will only need a 10 question exam, and then I will have my final exam where I will need 16 questions. So that's why I created a bigger, all the content that I'm teaching my students during this quarter, this semester, this, however you call it in the region that you are watching me right now. But let's say it's the quarter, and whatever you are teaching them this quarter, it's here in this English assessment, but you are dividing this English assessment into 2 moments. So I will add 2 session. Here you see, and when I go here, I already created a session playlist. So you see that I have 26 out of 26 here questions, and I can click, and here I have this is a question size private to you, contribute to make it public. So this is private to me. Nobody can see it, nobody can touch, and I will make my own session playlist. As I said, I organized, and I will only need a total of 10 questions right now in this first midterm. So from the 11 on, I will remove my questions here. And here now I see 10 out of 26 questions. I can start a new session. I can still start a new session and invite my class, so it doesn't change anything. So let's say I will invite my class again to this one, and it's an English language, but now you can see that I have the 10 only questions. I don't have the 26 questions. So when you come back, let's say this will be saved. So you see that you already and asked this 10 first questions. So you can later in your next assessment, you can add the next one and remove the first 10 ones. And you can use the session playlist. That's why it's so good for security as well, because only the teacher can see this. So only you can do this, only you can, if you are doing this in a shared folder, yes, you can share with another coworker, with another teacher, and you can do it together, especially if you have special cases in your class and you have to give some of your students less questions. So you can say that for half of the class you gave 10, and for half of the class you are giving 5, or you're giving 5 for one group, 5 to the other group. You can do whatever you want. We are creating a system that this will be more automatically, and a lot of people ask us to do something more automatic, that they don't have to go manually and add and remove questions. But this already works like smoothly, very, very well for a lot of teachers, because they can create a lot of sessions. They can first go to their class and create, let's say that I have 1A and I teach history, but I will give different questions. I have 30 students, and I will divide my students in 3 groups of 10, and I will give from the same assessment 7 questions to each group. So you can come here and say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is my first assessment, and then you remove these other ones, and you create here one assessment, and you invite your class that you created, that is 1A, the subject you teach is history, and so 1A history first group, and you invite your class here. I can show to you. So let's say that I will have 1A, and then history group 1. Let's just copy so it's easier for the next one. So let's say this, and then I will have 1A group 2, and then I will have 1A group 3. So here you see you have 1 history group 1, group 3, group 2. So you can go to your library, that it's still saved here because you're still working on this, and you can say, hey, so the 7 first ones, I will create a session. I start a new session, and I will invite my class that is 1A, 1A. You can obviously give a differentiation here, but as I see here, I have 1A, 1A, 1A with 0 students, so I will just click in the first one. You can obviously like already allow I already put like a difference in the name, because it's the only thing that will appear in your class. The subject is more for you, and then you say, okay, so I will create another one for my students, and will be the next 7 questions. So I have 7 here, and I will start a brand new session, and I will invite now my second A. So 1A, the second one, not allowing guest students, and that goes. So it is to set up your curriculum online. It will be obviously the most like you have more work to set up your curriculum online if you're not using our public library to find great question sets and edit them and implement them or change them. But if you need or if you want to set up our curriculum online, you have the bigger part of the work at the beginning. You will set up, and then you can just create a bunch of sessions and session playlists and just have your own organization and know exactly what questions each student will have, so you can differentiate tasks. You can give the same class 4 different tasks, 5 different tasks, exams, assessments, and they will have different questions, different answers, and they won't be able to talk between them, and they will have completely different results. But you can already set up the whole assessment in one big question set with a lot of questions, and then just play with the session playlist. So I believe that's our features that we have that really help to make your online assessment more secure. We do know that some teachers prefer to use even different browsers, or prefer to research a little more and understand how they can make their students not leave that window and not be able to leave that window. But we do know that a lot of students use their mobile phones or and other devices. What we can do with our class time features is reduce the time sometimes that these kids will have to think and to answer. We can make it harder for them to compare the questions or for them to chat. We do have our chat that is amazing as I said in the first video, it's great to talk to the teacher, and they will be able to talk to you if you are online, or even to write to you if you're not online. As a teacher, I'm talking to the teachers now. If you're not online and then you go after your students finish their first assessment, you go back and see all the results, you'll be able to see all the orange chats and open all the conversations, and then your students can say, hey, this is I take a print screen and say like, hey, I don't really know that what, like, I think it's the B, but I'm going with A because of that. They can explain further, and then you can decide how you will be grading this assessment, and they will have, I believe, a greater possibility of speaking with their teacher and understanding that they have to take it seriously, and you as a teacher is open to help them academically with any doubts that they have. Even after they answer, you can give a second chance then with the session playlist. Already save other questions to send them if they fail the first one. But I think the biggest I think the better way of creating a secure environment for both the students and the teachers, and as well for like decrease the cheating part, is to have conversations and to create secure environments with your students. Just say, hey, I'm giving you this amount of time, I'm giving you this questions, and I believe you. If you have any questions, please chat with me. I will see it afterwards, and we will talk, we will discuss. But even if you have a lot of students, you don't have the time after to grading, you can still use the help of the student portal, and you can use our features here that I showed to you today to make it like way harder to cheat than it was before you knew about these features. I'm sure of that. If you do have any questions or any further comments, please leave in the comments in this social media that you are watching us. If it's via email, please answer the email. You can chat with us in any channel that you prefer, and I will be seeing you on Friday with a brand new video. I do hope this helps you to understand further about class time features, and please test everything that you can. Here, explore. You all are in our school license. I already added new people that asked me new teachers that didn't see this program invitation before and already asked me to add them to our program. I already did since Monday. So if you are a new teacher and you didn't apply, please just send us your email that you'll be in the program too. And I will be seeing you on Friday, okay? Thank you very much. Bye bye.